Hi, welcome back to part 3. The next section we're going to take on the Duke's Archives and Seath, and then we'll go down to the Catacombs and we'll do Pinwheel, and then we'll do Tomb of the Giants and Nito. So coming up, there's quite a lot to probably say about the Duke's Archives. So first of all, we've turned down Londo Dark, so there's no giants for us to worry about. We've got the Duke Skip coming up, and the Duke Skip is quite a challenge. If you want to learn the Duke Skip, you're best doing this on PC and getting a save file so you can practice a lot. Now, if you want to learn the Duke Skip, you need to get your quit outs down, because if you can't quit out quickly, when you miss it, you will fall and die. So the first thing is learn to quit out quickly. For dodging this boar, just to mention, you want to run at the boar, roll, and iframe through him. So the two things to note are you need to have your shield up. So that means when you press circle, you'll roll instead of jump. And then you also want to roll slightly at an angle out of him, because your iframes won't last long enough for you to get out the other side of the board. So if you roll at an angle, you exit a little bit sooner, and you won't get staggered on exit. So if you want to kill the boars, if you want to use this bonfire, you have to kill the boars. And that corner by the lift, if you run there, they'll get stuck between the pillar and the lift, and they won't be able to kill you. So if you want to rest at this bonfire, my advice is run there, and then use your R2s to kill the boars. But it takes forever. If you're not confident you do use the bonfire, you can send the lift back down there, and that will save you time if you die and need to come back and try the skip again. Okay, so through here, personally, I just tend to run through. You need to dodge the guy on the right as you exit the door, dodge the guy behind the bookcase, not get hit, and run between the table and the bookcase. Everyone else, you can mostly just shield up and push past. You can also run behind the bookcase if that's a bit too scary for you. It just adds a few seconds. Okay, so Duke Skip. What we're going to do is we flip the switch, we run to the wall, we step 3 times, roll off onto the banister, move to the right, turn around and roll. 1, 2, 3. Onto the banister, step towards the right, turn around and roll. And that's the Duke Skip. So, the Duke Skip takes a lot of practice. I don't think it's as hard as the Ceaseless Skip, which I still have never tried. But it's certainly taken me a long time to learn the Duke Skip, and I don't get it first time. I very rarely get it first time. And if you do miss it, you need to be able to quit out quickly. So, the alternative to the Duke Skip is you can face Seath, get killed, and then wake up in the jail cell and fight your way out. I think the Duke Skip saves like 5 minutes maybe. I've heard you can get away with failing the Duke Skip about 5 times and still be ahead, or still be roughly about the same kind of amount of time as if you just died to Seath and then escaped from the jail cell. But it saves such a large amount of time. I would say it's really worth trying to learn, and all the time you're learning, even if you're failing, you're still improving. So as long as you're not going for really competitive times, if you're trying to get a PB and you never land it, you might want to think about just letting yourself die maybe. So everything else, we open the shortcuts to the bonfire, rest of the bonfire, and then it's all just a standard route to Seath. There's not really much else to mention, like nothing you won't already know. One thing coming up, so there's 2 golems we need to deal with, and then I also do a drop. So the drop, I don't think the drop really saves you much time because you have to heal afterwards, and I don't think it saves you enough. But it's good for RTSR range, and we're going to pop a humanity anyway to get our humanity up. So that guy just come from the left to the right, he'll jump left and you go to the right of him. We're going to drop here, so you can just drop down this corner. There is a riskier drop that's done on the world record or bosses run, but yeah, we're not going to do that, it's crazy. So the reason we're stacking humanity is because Seath does curse damage, and we don't have any decent curse resist robes. But stacking soft humanity will give you decent curse resist. So, like, I try and get 6 or 7. You can easily do it with less, but 6 or 7 is a good amount. For that guy, walk straight at him, and then as he starts to jump, go around to the right, and then roll back to the left to get past him. This is all pretty straightforward. We're going to equip the bow so that when we get into Seath's boss room, we can use the bow to shatter the crystal. And then we're going to quit out, because if we just run straight past the clams, they'll end up in the boss room with us, and trying to do the fight with clams in there is insane, because they'll just sneeze at you and you explode. They do so much damage, it's insane. So we run past them, and then they'll follow us into the boss room, which means once the cutscene finishes, they'll be there. So instead what we do is we shoot the crystal, and then we exit, reload. Don't zoom in until you can see the crystal. That was bad. So I faff around here, and that was a mistake, and this takes too long, and then you can see the clam on the left about to kill me. But yeah, so we quit out and reload, and this puts us in front of the fog wall, but all of the clams will be outside. So as soon as you reload, hammer X to go straight through the fog, and Seath will be facing you, but you will have no clams. The downside is he normally staggers when you destroy the crystal, and we don't get that like time where we can attack him freely. So with Seath as a boss, he'll take a lot more damage to his body than he will to his legs. So you want to try and aim for the body if you can. But he does a lot of kind of explodey attacks, and if you're right in front of him, you'll take a decent amount of damage. So what I try and do is get a couple of hits on his body, and then as he's about to explode, so shaking hands, if you see those, that's a sign that he's going to explode. And then I try and run away, not get hit, and then go back in. And all the time you're waiting to run back into his chest, you can be hitting his legs to take a bit of damage away, you know, do a bit of damage to him here and there. For healing during this fight, I try to just use humanity, because all the time I'm stacking humanity, I'm increasing my curse resist as well. So next we're going to warp to Firelink, and we will take on Pinwheel, and then we'll take on Nito. So at this stage you can put your souls into whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. If you were doing this to do a PvP build, you'll definitely want to start leveling strength or dex or whatever it is that you want to level for that build now. So yeah, we're going to run through the Catacombs. It's mostly quite easy, I think, well no, because there's bone wheels, and bone wheels are awful. So, run straight through here. Once again, I've taken my sword off to reduce my equip load, so I get better stamina regen. It takes me too long to put it back on though, so I don't know if it's worth it in the end, but I like it more. So, run through here, shield up. Mostly you don't need to roll to avoid that guy too much. We've already flipped the first bridge, so we don't need to go down into the room anymore. And we're going to do the same drop that we did at the start to get to the Titanite Demon. But once we've done that, we're going to heal up and then go back and drop off the side again. The place we drop down to, you'll be able to see that there's a soul down there. So that's how you can kind of work out where you're meant to drop to. So this is the first drop. When you land, press forward and hammer circle to try and roll through it, and then you can roll away from the exploding skulls and heal up. So this is our second drop. You see the item there. You want to heal up again, and then you're going to jump, and we're going to get to the boss fight. So here, you need to be aware of bone walls coming from behind. Try to step around them. I do a terrible job here. And then once you're through the fog gate, you're safe. You'll take a little bit of damage when you fall, so I would recommend healing up before you jump down. And if you're quick, you can get in, and I think it's four hits or so to do Pinwheel. And if you're quick, you can get him and drop him really, really quickly before anything else comes in and messes stuff up. Yeah, so I wasn't quite quick enough. There we go. So I think that was 5. Here, if you press start and get your menu up, then you can press exit, and so the start menu prevents the wall being rendered properly, or like your interaction with the wall. So if you then exit start once the animation starts, you clip through the wall and you can get to the ladder a little bit faster. Here you okay, so getting through Tomb of the Giants, follow the prisms, dodge that guy, and then when you get here, run straight into the light and jump. That'll bring you down to here. Okay, so follow the prisms, hug the wall and dodge the first skeleton, then run towards the light and jump, and that will just bring you here. Now we're going to safety bonfire, so once you get out of that, just walk off the edge as we did here, and you can bonfire here and spend your souls if you want to. So the next section, we go up the ladder, and we're going to run straight forward to the wall, and then hug the wall all the way around till we get to the fog gate. And that should hopefully mean that we dodge the skeletons. So make sure you hug the wall. So next, we want to run towards the light, drop down and roll to the right. And here we want to dodge this guy, and then there's a jump if we can get it. And we do. So if we get that, that cuts out a huge section, and then we just drop down again, and we're at the boss fight. So Ubergusmage does a really good video on this route. That's how I learnt it. I'll link it in the description. And you can see him walk through it. If you fail that jump, then it's just a matter of working your way down to the other ladder by the second bonfire, I think it is. Through here, you can just keep on running all the way through. You can run around that guy, and then run around that guy, and then the timing for this guy, just run into him, and then he'll disappear as the arrow gets shot, and you can go straight through. So just keep a steady pace. Here, you want to dip to the left to avoid getting shot, and then walk off and go to the left. You don't need to jump or roll. Walk through these, and then I think you should be able to get through here with a single roll, and then or jump, and then you're at the fog gate. So we're going to use stone armor for Nito, and after we drop, we're going to wait for him to come to us so that we don't aggro the big skeletons. We get really lucky in this fight because he doesn't do his scream and like the Gravelord attack from the ground, which I'm really bad at dodging. Yeah, so we pretty much just wait. My strategy with Nito generally is I tend to walk to the side of a lot of his attacks while my stamina's recharging, because it means he'll just miss you. And then I kind of lay into his back leg a little bit after he's overextended himself. And once again, with the explosion attacks, you just kind of want to suck the explosion, because it will keep your endurance, it will keep your stamina up, and you can continue to attack. Then you just heal with a Humanity or Estus whenever you need to. Like that. So, although I take physical damage, I'm not using stamina by blocking, which means I can continue to attack afterwards. And because we're in stone armor, the stamina regen is so slow that really that's the thing we want to be most careful of. And when your stamina's down, that's the ideal time to use your Estus, because using Estus doesn't use stamina, so you'll continue to recharge while you refill your health. And that takes us back to here, and then we'll go to Firelink. So next up is the final segment, where we're going to do the Demon Ruins, Lost Izalith, and all of the like fire bosses, including my most hated boss in the game, Demon Fire Sage. Cool, so let's check our time. An hour and 1 minute. That's not too bad. Alright, see you in part 4.